Thank you. So let's move on to the next presenter, Aygün Amanaliyeva from Azerbaijan, and she will present us linguistic analysis of synonyms in the study of quantitative categories. Yes, here you are.
Çok teşekkür ederim Sayın Ömer Hoca. 25 ülkenin iştirak ettiği Uluslararası Beynelxalq Konferansda Azerbaycan'ı temsil etmeyimle gurur duyuyorum. Thank you so much. I'm glad and pleased to participate in the second International Scientific Research and Innovation Congress held in Istanbul, Turkey today. And I greet all conference organizers and participants and wish them new successes and achievements in the future. I'm a PhD student of the National Academy Sciences of Azerbaijan Republic, Institute of Linguistics named after Imadettin Nasimi. And today I would like to make a little oral presentation about the classification of world languages for different groups of all the languages are divided into and classifications of synonymy. The classification of world languages is one of the main problems in linguistics. No scholar in the world knows the exact number of the languages. The book Linguistics and a Guide of Language Intercourse, which was published in Germany not long ago, shows that there are 5,651 languages in the world. But some other sources know that there are 3,000 languages in the world. It should be noted that 1,400 languages out of them didn't gain their independence. Scholars still long ago observed the fact that some of the languages are similar to one another in their forms, while others dissimilar. They express the idea that the languages revealing formal features of similarity have a common origin. Attempts to establish groups of kindred languages were repeatedly made from 16th century on, but a consistently scientific proof and study of the actual relationship between languages became possible only when the historical comparative method of language study was created, and it was in the first quarter of the 19th century. This method developed in connection with the comparative observation of languages belonging to the Indo-European family, and its appearance was stimulated by the discovery of Sanskrit. Friedrich Schlegel, the well-known German linguist, poet, critic, and scholar, was the first.
Aygün hocam çok pardon. Ekran paylaşımı yapabilir misiniz?
Affedersiniz, ben yalnız oral presentation.
Okay.
Oral, not written, only oral. This method developed in connection with the comparative observation of languages belonging to the Indo-European family, and its appearance was stimulated by the discovery of Sanskrit. Friedrich Schlegel, the well-known German linguist, poet, critic, and scholar, was the first who gave the classification of the languages typology. He divided the languages into two groups. One, languages with affixes. Here belong Chinese, Bantu, and Turkish languages. Two, flective languages, and here belong Sami, Georgian, and French languages. Of course, the classification of the languages like that concede approximately distinctive features. His brother August Schlegel, overworking this classification, distinguished three language classes. One, the languages with grammatical structure. Two, languages with affixes, and three, flective languages. Wilhelm Humboldt, the well-known German linguist, is considered to be the founder of the linguistic typology, knew a lot of languages. To know a lot of languages gave him a great opportunity to compare the structure of the languages and to show their typological classification. He divided all the languages he knew into four groups. One, isolating languages, no morphology, one-to-one correspondence between words and morphemes. Example, Chinese. Two, agglutinating languages. A word may consist of more than one morpheme, and the boundaries between morphemes are always clear-cut. Example, Turkish languages. Examples of agglutinative languages are the Altaic languages, mainly Turkish. Three, flective languages. He included here Indo-European languages. And four, incooperating languages put lexical and grammatical morphemes together to form a word. Here he included the language of American Indians. There were some scientists, for example, Franz Bopp, German linguist, Schlegel, Humboldt, Steinthal, who assumed the phonological, morphological, and syntactical criteria as a basis in comparing languages. Generally, all the languages are divided into 4 different groups. 1, root or isolated languages, here belong Chinese languages. 2, agglutinative languages, here belong Turkish, Tatar, Azerbaijani, etc. 3, flective or flexional languages, here belong Latin, Russian, to some stem of English. And 4, incooperating or polysysthetic languages, like some American Indian languages. The term agglutination was introduced by Wilhelm von Humboldt in 1836 to classify languages from a morphological point of view. It was derived from the Latin verb agglutiner, which means to glue together. Agglutination is the addition of a large number of affixes, one after another. Academician Mishaninov includes all the agglutinative, flective, and amorphous languages into the languages with nominative construction. Here belongs the Turkish languages, Indo-European languages, and the Chinese languages. In the 11th century, Mahmud Kashkari divided Turkish languages according to their features into 4 groups. This division can be considered as a first step in this field. Further development of the comparative study of the Turkish languages are shown in Alishir Navai's works. He gave the comparison of the Turkish and Indo-European languages. Based on a comparative historical study of languages, it is established that the English language belongs and includes to the West Germanic subgroup of the Indo-European language family and is one of the widely used languages of the world. So German, Dutch, Frisian languages, as well as the English language, are called a Germanic one. English is also one of the widely spoken Indo-European languages. Indo-European languages are one of the largest language families. They are currently spoken by more than 1,600,000,000 people. More than 400 million speak New Germanic languages. Among the Germanic languages, the first place in the number of speakers speak English. The English system in its development has undergone great changes. English in the course of its history has moved from the inflective type to the analytical one. The history of English grammar begins at the end of the 16th century with the work Brief Grammar for English by William Bullocker. Until the 17th century, the term grammar in English was only associated with the study of the Latin language, since Latin grammar was the only one studied in schools, and until the end of the 16th century, there was no English grammar. Generally speaking, Indo-European languages are classified into 2 structural types, synthetic and analytic. In the 18th century, multilingual comparative descriptions were built on the basis of elementary comparisons of 2 languages from antiquity and the Middle Ages. Now, these comparative descriptions are mainly of historical interest, since they are an essential part of the history of world culture. As it is known, the English and Azerbaijani languages belong to different language groups and families, both from genealogical as well as from typological point of view. The Azerbaijani language is included into Oghuz group of the Turkish language family. Namely, the English language is a language of Indo-European, but the Azerbaijani is a language of Altaic Oghuz group. The English language is in fact barely a mixed type of language. Sometimes in English, the process of agglutination and in Azerbaijan, analytism may be observed. English has gathered many words from different languages, leading to synonyms. Also, English has inherited and borrowed many words from other languages and kept some duplicates. It's also why some words have sound alike and don't spell out as they sound, but those are additional topics. Synonyms saw a rise in the English language during the Norman conquest, when the ruling class spoke Norman French and the latter class classes continued to speak Old English. As a result, the Norman-originated word people exist alongside the Saxon derivative folk. Among the synonyms, there are a lot of words and expressions that express a quantity. There are enough quantitative words among the synonyms. Synonymous words or a line of synonymous belong to the same part of speech. For example, big, enormous, huge, immense, vast, large, grand, or little, tiny, small, diminutive, shrimp, round, or very, extremely, tremendously, exceedingly, and vastly. Those who write about synonymy tend to claim either that it is the most common lexical relation or that it does not exist. These positions depend entirely on how one defines the term, either as similarity of meaning or identity of meaning, respectively. The usual case for synonymy is substitution. If one expression can be replaced by another in a sentence without change to the meaning of the sentence, then the two expressions are said to be synonyms. Synonymy is a kind of semantic relation among words. Technically, it occurs when two or more linguistic forms are used to substitute one another in any context. For example, words such as healthy and well, sick and ill, quickly and speedily, quickly and rapidly may be viewed as examples of synonymy simply because they share most of the characteristics with one another. And as a result, I want to say a synonymy is a word having the same or nearly the same meaning as another word in certain contexts. The adjective form is synonymous. Synonymy is the relation that exists between words with closely related meanings. Contrast.
Sorry, we are out of time. Can you summarize it in a few minutes?
I have finished. Thank you for your attention.
Okay. You finished. Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for your presentation. And any related comment or any question to dear Aygün Amanaliyeva from Azerbaijan? So then let's move on. Nurullah Hocam, sizden sonraki sunum yapacak arkadaşın internet sorunları varmış. Sizden öne alsak uygun mu size de?
Kıymetli hocam, hiçbir sorun yok. Zaten
Tamam.
Ben de çok fazla uzatmayacağım. Hocam
Tamam.
önceliklidir.
Tamam.
Lütfen.
Tamam hocam, sağ olun. So our next presenter is Tanver
Yes, I'm
Kaur
here.
from India, and she will present us an